After a decade of building websites, managing social media channels for clients, I was stuck in a painful truth. I was working harder but making less money. 2 years ago, I did what felt unthinkable at the time. I stepped away from my business and I took a 9 to 5 job. Not because I had failed at digital marketing, because I still did digital marketing, but because I needed to put my family's financial stability first. Honestly, I knew deep down something wasn't working. Here's what nobody tells you about taking a step back. Sometimes it's the only way to see what you've been doing wrong. Those 2 years in corporate weren't just about stabilizing our finances, they became my masterclass in self awareness. I uncovered the mindset blocks I'd been carrying, I faced my fears head on, and I finally recognized my true superpower wasn't in website design or social media management. It was in storytelling and email marketing. Today's episode is not another how I bounced back story. It's about why I'm deliberately choosing to start from zero and the 3 fundamental shifts I'm making to build a business that's aligned with both my strengths and my values, and to give myself a better chance of getting it right this time. If you've ever felt trapped in a business model that doesn't fit who you really are, or if you're wondering whether it's time to tear it all down and start fresh, this one is for you. Let's dive into the 3 key things that are helping me today rebuild my foundation. Plus, I'll share a bonus section about the exact tools I'm using at the moment to make it all happen. Hi, my name is Eme Bassey, and I help founders, creators, and e-commerce brands sell with their stories. Sometimes we need to hit the reset button to move forward, and that's exactly where I found myself. So let's dive into the 3 things that are helping me rebuild my foundation. Plus, I'll share a bonus section about the exact tools I'm using to make it all happen. The first thing I did was to take full responsibility. This was honestly the hardest step, but it set me free. The other day I saw a quote and it said, "I am the cause. Decide that you are the cause." So anything that has happened to you up till now is your responsibility. You caused it. You made it happen. Everything that happened was because of you, because of your choices, your action, and your inaction. And it's actually liberating because the moment you own everything, you've taken all your power back, and you then get to say, if I am the cause, then I am also the answer. This time, I'm doing it different. So it's very powerful. I got myself here, I can get myself out, and this time I'm doing it differently. So that's the first thing I did. The second game changer was simplify everything, and I mean everything. I used to think I needed complex systems and strategies. I wanted to do many different types of businesses. I was one of those people who loved jumping from one shiny object to the other. And I'm also one of those people who has multiple gifts and talents. So sometimes you want to do one thing and then you want to do something else. And then that means that you don't really build a strong foundation. So I stripped it all down, became crystal clear on my niche. By the way, I'll tell you what my niche is. My niche is email marketing. That's it. That's it. Email marketing. And my target or my customers are people who are launching online digital assets or people who are in e-commerce. So my niche is simple: story-driven email marketing. Call it email copywriting, call it email marketing specialist, but that's my specialty. So I became crystal clear on that. I'm no longer that general digital marketing person. This was the first thing I did. And it is so much harder than you would think, because when you decide that you want to do something, when you decide to say yes to something, you are actually saying no to many, many other things. But that is actually what sets you free. So the first thing was decide my niche and then clarify my messaging. If I can't explain it to a 10-year-old, then it's too complicated. This simplification has given me mental space to actually focus on what matters and serve my clients better. The thing is, there's so much coming at you with ideas of things to do. But then once you have said, this is my path, if it does not fit into that path, then it's very easy to say no. It's a very easy no. If a client comes to you and says they want something else that is not on your path, then the answer is always no. That's where I am now. I need to bring this focus. When I was thinking about making this first episode, the first thought that came to me, like, I want to talk about why people still think of me as that lady that used to decorate cakes. Now, I've not decorated cakes or taught a cake decorating class for at least 8 years, but it just happens that when I did that, I went all in, and that was what people got to know me for. But for the past 10 years, I've been doing digital marketing. So why are people still thinking about me as that lady that makes cakes? And that's the answer to that is this thing that I am doing now, which is to simplify what I'm doing and clarify what it is that I offer, so that is what I become known for. If anybody wants anything that has to do with storytelling or email marketing, then I am the person. If they have something that has to do with graphic design, websites development, or um, Facebook adverts, which I can do, but I am not still that person who is that generalist. I am now more focused, and this kind of sets you free. So this is the lesson here. The lesson is that sometimes when you focus on one thing, it actually frees you up, gives you more freedom. There's the fear, people have that fear of, like, oh, if I make my targets too narrow or my niche too narrow, what if I do not have what if customers don't come? Maybe I should take everyone that comes my way, but having that scarcity mindset, that's not a good thing in the first place. But then apart from that, there's people that are meant to work with you, and they will find you. And if you have a specialized service, they will come to you rather than coming to a generalist if that's what they want. So that is the second thing, simplifying. And then the third thing is to focus on the actions and not the outcomes. So this is what I think is probably most transformative for me as a person. I was reading a book recently, and the lady was talking about, she was at a point in time when she would buy every book that has the name millionaire in it. When you just hear millionaire, make millions from this, make millions from that, it kind of like pulls you away. So, I mean, I'm not talking about the millionaire thing, but more like being promised some specific outcome, to say, if you do this in 6 days or in 3 weeks or in 90 days, you can make this much money by doing this thing. So you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to follow that plan or that formula or that thing, but I find that in itself takes us away from what we're supposed to do. Not that those outcomes are not true, not that those claims are not true. That's not really what we're talking about. But being focused on that could take us in the wrong direction. So talking about myself and talking to myself, this third shift was perhaps the most transformational, because I decided to not focus on the outcomes. Like, for instance, a lot of people say, oh, I can help you build your social media, or if you follow this my formula, you can get 100,000 followers in 6 months, or 3,000 followers in 2 hours, or whatever, and those tactics in quotes might have worked for them and they could work for you. But then if you focus on that, then you might find yourself in a world of disappointment. So this applies to so many other areas of life, but basically the third shift is that I've become more obsessed with the actions, and doing the right actions, and becoming obsessed with the actions rather than the outcomes, because there are some actions that you take just for the mere fact that you are consistent with it. You will get results. there's action. For instance, in email marketing, you will make money if you email your clients more often. You will make more money. It goes without saying. Even if people unsubscribe, you will make more money. It just goes without saying. Somebody who is emailing their clients and somebody who is not emailing their clients, the person that's emailing will make more money. End of. So you then decide, okay, I'm going to email this often, and I'm going to just, instead of saying every email I send, I have to make 10% more or 30% more, just focus on the action, the part that is in your power. So that is where I am. I used to be obsessed with outcomes, the numbers, the metrics, the goals, and they matter, but I was so focused on where I wanted to be that I wasn't putting enough energy into what would get me there. So now, instead, I decide these are the actions I'm going to do. This is how often I'm going to do it, and then keep myself going with those habits and celebrate the small wins more consistently. So that is me starting from scratch. And because at the end of the day, you really can't control the outcome. Nobody can control the outcome. There's luck, there's God, there's favor, there's being at the right place at the right time, there's having the skill, the experience. The person that might do it might have more skill, they might have a bigger audience. So you can't really control the outcomes by following some formula, but rather just do your part. Do your part consistently. Do it with all your energy and take your eyes off what the outcomes are going to be. So that's me done. 3 things I've decided to focus on. 1, take responsibility. Say I am the cause, so therefore I'm also the solution. 2, simplify and clarify. So simplify my message, simplify my niche, simplify even my actions, and finally focus more on the actions rather than the outcomes. And I didn't come up with all this myself. I feel that as life goes on, and especially if you're a believer, God leads you. You hear things here, hear things there, you hear things in your mind, you think about things, and then you suddenly start getting the what it is that you need to know if you are paying attention. So that is what I have been able to to do. These are the things that I'm learning to give myself that foundation in my mindset and foundation in my approach. I mentioned that I was going to tell you what tools I'm using, and I've decided to keep it simple as well. So I'm using Kit. It's called Kits, formerly called Convert Kits. That's for my email marketing, personal email marketing, not necessarily the one I would use for clients. Kajabi, which I'm going to use for my content, my coaching, my courses, and then having everything in one place is actually going to be good for me. And also because technically it's a one-man business. Finally, and the one that I'm most excited about at the moment, or maybe because it's new and shiny, I like shiny things, is the Finisher's Journal. So that it keeps me accountable, focused on my daily actions, and just keeps me focused on my goals. This episode was sponsored by Azuka and Co Journals. So Azuka and Co Journals are helping you to keep that journaling habit for your wisdom, your wealth, and your well-being. Remember, starting over isn't failing. It's having the courage to start again, but smarter. If you're in a similar place, I hope these insights help you find your way forward. Until next time, keep building, keep growing, and don't forget, sometimes the best thing you can do is simplify.